Either polar opposites. For me, it's the greatest thing, but if you're going to do it early.
Cider.
I mean, early-ish.
어디 청주. So I'm here with John Frankl. I'm not quite sure how to describe you, good sir. So how would you, in the sense of like the brewing and makgeolli scene, how would you describe yourself?
I don't do it for a living, so I'm a hobbyist, but it's a serious hobby.
Okay.
It's something I like to do and try to do well, even though I'm not yet trying to monetize it. I may never, but I got 10 more years at my day job, so if I do, it'll be a while till I feel the need to do anything commercial.
Nice. And how do you remember your first makgeolli?
Yeah, I do.
All right. Well, how was that? What was it? How was that?
Yeah.
How did that
so
come
I
about?
had done a little bit of beer and wine brewing and cider brewing in the States. I never felt the need to pursue it because for those of you who know that market, there's so much good stuff, readily available, relatively cheap. I didn't want to reinvent the wheel. So I did it a few times for fun, but I didn't. Here, I felt like what I could buy at the store wasn't very good, and I knew I could do better. And so I started kind of just like putting fruit in soju like all old people do.
I've done that with cactus fruit.
Yeah, right. And it's cool, it comes out good, and then just maybe I can do better, So I started going online, and Korea, everything is online. So I looked for classes, brewing classes, and I found a young woman who had sort of graduated from one of the famous schools, and she had opened a little tiny thing near Hongdae, which is very close to where I work. And I went down there. I think she had classes 2 nights a week, and I went down there and learned and brewed my first couple under her tutelage. And they were, by my standards now, they were probably horrible, but they were better than what I could buy in the store. And so I did that for maybe a year, and then I went off to America for sabbatical for a year. So I was separated from the Korean scene, but I had enough knowledge, so I just went there.
Nice.
And I bought some white plastic food grade buckets and brought some noodle from Korea, and I brewed in America, and it came out okay. Although again, looking back, there were a lot of holes in my game. But while I was in America for that year, I did more internet research as I brewed, and I found my main teacher, 가양주 연구소, which is in Pangbedong.
Yeah.
류인수 소장님. So I started trying to contact him on the internet, and he was very responsive, which a lot of people are not. I don't think they're rude, I just don't think they're very connected.
Yeah.
They'll have someone else running their website, but they don't want to deal with it. I would ask him questions about the stuff I was experimenting with in the States, and he would get back to me and help me a lot.
And sorry, not to interrupt, but what year, when was this
2012, 13.
Okay, cool.
10 years ago.
Okay.
So I probably started with the whole thing maybe 15 years ago, just stuffing fruit in bad soju.
That's how I started too.
It's
to a degree,
typical start. And then maybe 12 years ago, I took my first classes. And then from about 10 years ago, I was, really involved with the people I'm involved with now and learning properly. Yeah.
All right. And so can you give us a little tour of this room, I guess?
Yeah, too easy.
Yeah.
So, I tried.
Wherever you want to start.
Well, here. These are in process.
All right.
So this is a straight 이양주 or 삼양주. It's ready. I just haven't had the time. So you can see the rice has fallen, the cheongju has risen to the top. I need to strain this. Luckily, it's 17 degrees in here, so it's fall. It's not going to go off.
Right.
I should strain this pretty soon. This is 20 liters. This is 30 liters of mulberry odi kwaju. It's completely ready. You can't even see the rice.
That is,
Smell it.
that's not my camera's problem.
It's nice. Yeah.
It does smell pretty goddamn good.
Yeah, and this was made with like some really strong home distilled.
Yeah, so this is like a makgeolli OD infusion, and then just shock it with that soju.
So what happens is, at about, you can go 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, depending on how sweet you want it. I think I hit it at about 5 days. You add high proof soju.
What proof would that be?
That's 57. I might have added like 65 to this. Yeah. To the mix, and what that does is you artificially elevate it to above 20. This is probably like 22, 23%.
Like ABV.
Yes.
Yeah.
What that does, it does two things. One, it stops the fermentation because yeast will not commit suicide. at about 20 or 21 ABV, they just stop producing. They don't
Right.
die, but if they go higher,
Yeah.
they'll literally like sterilize themselves. So they stop, but the sugars keep. So the enzymes keep producing sugar, but the yeast stop producing alcohol.
Okay.
And so you get a high alcohol, relatively high sweetness, and it's like port wine basically. It's a Korean version of port wine. And they came up with this hundreds of years ago for summer storage, pre-refrigeration.
Makes sense. Yeah. Yeah.
Kwaju just means pass the summer brew or alcohol, get through the summer alcohol. So these are ready. I just haven't had time. And then here is the same mulberry, but no soju added. And I don't use a filtration system. I just that's only 2 weeks. That's only.
What do you mean you don't use the filtration system? You don't filter it all?
I don't put it through paper filters.
But you do use a strainer bag.
Well, no, but I'm saying I'll wait until all the sediment settles
okay.
out, and I'll just pour off the clear.
Okay, for the Cheongju, right?
Yeah.
And tell us about this. This is a very different story up here.
Cider, just the cheap apple juice I can get from Costco in Korea.
It is literally Kirkland brand juice too. Then that makes it. I was gonna say maybe you just had bottles of apple juice, but no, that
I
that
get
makes
that
sense.
at
Yeah,
Costco, and
Okay.
I add some cider yeast that I can get here from Australia, like Mango Jack, and it comes out really dry, but good. I'll distill that sometimes into Calvados. I have some of that out there, and sometimes I drink it straight. Rice steamer. Still for distilling.
Yeah, I don't know a lot of people with stills. That's kind of neat.
So
Yeah.
20 liters. You know, this little
That's the top part. Yeah, nice.
alembic still.
One of the only countries on earth that lets you home still.
Yeah,
which is
so
kinda
Korea's
cool. Yeah,
cool in that it's just like America. You can't sell home brew or home distilled alcohol, but you can do whatever you want if you're drinking it yourself and giving it away.
Right.
And the aircon just keeps it at like 24, 23 degrees in the gnarly Korean summers. Keeps
Nice.
it
I guess yeah.
keeps it dry enough and cool enough to not
It's that double, dry and cool.
ruin
Yeah.
stuff. And the rest is just noodle things to strain.
Actually, I did want to ask you about Nudok because one of the courses I took at Susubori, you taught the Nudok class.
Yeah.
And it was the wheat in the mold.
Yeah.
You have a few molds out there. I'll show you later. But how did you, not how did you get into Nudok, but I guess you seem pretty self-sufficient. You seem pretty dedicated to this stuff. Yeah. So I imagine your want to make Nudok came from a sense of independence and like bottom to top, like this makgeolli's my makgeolli and I made everything.
If I want to be able to do it,
Right.
oftentimes these days I don't, because there are people like this doing it.
Oh,
Yeah,
we found it.
So yeah, here's
That's what I use. Yeah.
and this is foolproof.
Yeah.
This is so consistent.
Yeah,
so
it's not
good.
even it's not even consumer grade. It's just like it's the standard.
It is.
I wouldn't even call it consumer grade.
No.
It's the standard
It's
Nudok.
really good.
Yeah.
And you get consistent results.
Yeah.
And it's not super. It doesn't impart any distinctive flavor. Like you can create your flavors around
Right.
it. It's pretty neutral. Yeah. And then just bottles. Like in here's like pine needles and different things that I might want to brew with.
How did you get into teaching at Susubori for the Nudok class? I guess Julia just trusted you because you'd been so. You've made enough of it.
I have
guess,
a graduate.
you went to the Surul Hagwon in Bangbei, right? Yeah.
And they have a separate Nudok course that I took.
an entire course just Nudok. Nice.
You can
okay,
still do that if you want.
This is in Korean, I may add that for the audience. Yeah, this is not what I did. Julia, great teacher. It's an English course. Yeah, he's taken like the OG Korean language stuff. Yeah,
There are some benefits, but
Yeah.
So I learned there. Although, in terms of like cost benefit analysis, when I'm busy, I just buy noodle.
Right.
But every once in a while, if I feel like having fun, I'll make my own.
Can you show us the barley one and just explain it quickly?
This one,
I've never seen this before, so this is kind of interesting.
little one from Jeju, and since Jeju's hot and humid, they make it smaller and thinner, so
Okay.
it won't rot. And this brew right here is made with that.
Yeah, the
And
first one.
It fermented very well. It came out okay, but I think it's. I'll probably make soju out of it. It feels a little bit. I have to wait, but it feels a little bit. It's a very high alcohol, almost bitter. So, I don't like the syrupy stuff, but I don't like so dry that there's no sweetness. I mean, rice has its own
Balance.
sweetness, and I like to have that. Yeah.
Okay. One more question, John. As far as people getting into homebrewing, makgeolli, I guess specifically, but like, do you have any tips or like,
Just
again
start.
for a beginner,
Just
right?
start.
Yeah.
Just start. You know, this whole idea that you're going to get ready and get ready and get ready. You'll never be ready. I'm still adjusting. I've been doing this 10 years. You know, don't go ready, aim, fire. Go ready, fire, aim. You know, fire. Just do it and start aiming and adjusting as you go. There are people who are willing to help you online. More than ever now. I think when we started,
online communities,
less, right?
yeah.
So just do it. I mean, when I'm in America, I get a 5-gallon food grade bucket from Home Depot or Lowe's. Make sure you get the food grade, not the paint buckets, but the ones that are good for storing food.
Used paint buckets are cheap, but they don't impart a very good flavor.
And you can just go from there. I've brewed in those 5-gallon buckets, and they're just fine. You know?
For the non-American viewers, what's 5 gallons?
What is that? 20 liters? I'm bad at 20
No, he's right. He's right. But I'll put him on the spot.
20 liters. The big buckets.
Like John said, ready, fire, aim. You said, right?
Yeah. Don't go ready and fire.
Aim for the moon, because even if you miss, you'll still be a star.
There you go.
I had to put a cheesy, stupid line in there.
That's all good.
Anyway, John, I'm going to ask you one more thing.
Yeah.
Just explain where we are and kind of walk us through the main area there.
Okay, yeah. So
we're kind of in your fermentation room
this
right
little
now. What
room,
is this?
This little room is controlled,
Yeah.
so I can ferment in here. And then it's just a kind of a workshop.
Yeah. So that's the best part. He doesn't live here.
Most are actually really good people. Occasionally, like
the spray bubble.
and then he's immediately
They get settled on their own. Yeah.
So this is a bathroom, but it's huge. So obviously, I'm brewing here. It's not a wonderful bathroom, but it's wonderful for straining.
You got
and
quite a
washing
lot of
down.
floor space here.
Dude, it's all tiled.
Like, past the toilet,
Yeah, just wash things out.
Yeah.
Obviously, strain stuff.
That's
in
how I
here.
wash my handy too, in the shower.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
wash it out.
And then, so out here is just.
Say hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
There's plenty that. I do like whiskey as well. There's a lot of whiskey.
You do, yeah.
And then these are some of the stuff I've distilled.
So this is your stuff here,
This,
then, eh?
this and
Yeah.
this is some Calvados, like the distilled apple.
You mentioned that earlier. Yeah.
Those are the doodle forms.
Yep, I remember when he taught me this stuff many moons ago. Yeah, that's what we were using. Yeah. Do you want to show us the prosciutto quick, and then we'll end it?
Yeah, that's right.
Because this is another thing with fermentation, right? Fermentation takes many forms.
This is just
Many forms.
temperature and humidity control.
Right. So, John, what are you making in here? What is this?
Yeah, basically these are beef and these are pork. So
Okay.
beef is, what would you call that? It's not lonzo. What do they call it?
Probifo. No.
No. It's
Beefsciutto.
no. Give me a second.
I think. Let me guess.
No, it's Bressola. Bressola.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Here's a bunch of stuff.
Ah, yeah. This is like packaged in like
Yeah.
ready to eat stuff. Yeah.
This is the beef Bressola. Now there's some pork. Yeah, just getting her done.
Beautiful. John, I thank you for your time.
Thanks for coming.
And we're gonna drink more now.
Yeah, we are.
Again, I might add, this is not his house. He just rented this place, and he just brews and ferments whatever he wants here. You can see the size of it too. Like it's like, it's not a massive complex, but for as far as a workshop goes, he's got an extra room here. Just amazing time. We're gonna drink some more, and we're gonna have a good time.
To the highest bidder.